One of the most prolific legends in Alabama outlaw history is that of Railroad Bill. And to those during his time, he was not just an outlaw, but a supernatural being. His story starts in March of 1895. More specifically, the L&N Railroad line between Flomaton and Mobile, Alabama. Railroad employees would come across a man who was sleeping on a water tank. This same man was also approached earlier for illegally carrying a firearm. His refusal to give up his firearm earlier and his unauthorized access caused a major dispute. It led to a shootout, and this man would escape by hijacking a train car and detaching it. From this point on, he'd be addressed as Railroad Bill. Railroad company detectives would launch a manhunt. In April of 1895, Bill would be found and approached again. Another shootout would occur, and Baldwin County Deputy Sheriff James Stewart would get caught in the crossfire. Railroad Bill almost miraculously would get away again. Morris later would allegedly be identified as Bill. His info would be pushed out as a turpentine worker who left his camp in Bluff Springs, Florida. On July 4th, 1895, Bruton Sheriff E.S. McMillan would track him down to a house near Bluff Springs. Sheriff McMillan would leave that encounter fatally wounded. Both Alabama and Florida went through great lengths to capture Bill. Bill, however, would continue to rob trains. His stolen goods would be given to the poor at little to no cost. And outside of being an outlaw, he was considered a Robin Hood to many. He'd continue to get in shootouts, and he continued to escape every single time. This would lead to a good portion of his supernatural lore. Some said that he was a shapeshifter, was only susceptible to silver bullets, making bloodhounds lose their smell, and had actual superhuman powers. Near the end of the summer in 1895, bounty hunters would come from numerous states just to track down Bill. They would make up over 100 men. There were countless misidentifications, with innocent black people taking the fall for Bill, not by choice. The consequences were brutal. Railroad Bill's last alleged encounter happened in Atmore, Alabama. He was ambushed and would not survive the shootout. His body would be publicly viewed in Bruton, Montgomery, and Pensacola, Florida, mostly to prove that Railroad Bill was actually captured. His legacy would continue in the form of song, stage names, and theater. Even after his supposed death, people claimed to see Bill in two different ways, as a ghost and as a real-life person. As an apparition, railroad workers on the L&N line would claim to see a black man walking down the tracks. He had a limp and he would never interact. A limp that reportedly came from an injury that occurred in one of his infamous shootouts. Those railroad workers said that if you stared at him too long, he would disappear into the woods. He ended his life as one of the most prolific Alabama outlaws in history.